President Obama appointed the nation's first ever Supreme Court justice who is Latina. Justice Sonia Sotomayor is the first ever Hispanic to serve on the court. She is of Puerto Rican descent. She was born and raised in the Bronx in New York. President Obama also appointed the nation's first ever Secretary of Labor, who is Latina. Hilda Solis was born and raised in California to immigrant parents from Nicaragua and Mexico. She served 4 terms in Congress before President Obama brought her up to the cabinet. President Obama has also now nominated Hilda Solis's replacement at the Department of Labor, and he is Tom Perez. He was born and raised in Buffalo, New York, to parents who were first-generation immigrants from the Dominican Republic. He was Secretary of Labor in the state of Maryland. He has led the Civil Rights Division as an Assistant Attorney General in the Justice Department during the Obama presidency. And on the very same morning that President Obama announced Tom Perez as his nominee to be Labor Secretary, yesterday morning, at the same time, the Republican Party announced the results of its own self-autopsy. The Republican Party chairman convened a task force to figure out why the party lost the last election so badly and how they can fix what's wrong with the party. If you want to boil down what they found, it's basically this. They need to stop alienating and insulting everybody who's not in the party already. Toward that end, they need to have an outreach program in place to persuade people who are not already in the party to join the party. The party will fund an outreach program to minorities to the tune of $10 million. And the Republicans are stressing that this whole effort can't just be for show. Quote, if we want ethnic minority voters to support Republicans, we have to show our sincerity. In other words, we have to seem like we mean it. You can kind of see the line of thought there, right? For the Republicans, they don't really want to change their policies on anything, but they do want to seem nicer. They want to seem more welcoming. Just as the party is acknowledging missteps in talking about women, things like the whole legitimate rape fiasco, right? The party also now has to be a little shy about how it has behaved in public toward prominent Latinos. I mean, not just the self-deportation comments and self-deportation policy from Mitt Romney, etc., but also, like, when President Obama nominated the first ever Latino Supreme Court justice. And Republican Newt Gingrich responded by calling her a racist. Rush Limbaugh, the conservative talk show host, said nominating Sonia Sotomayor was like nominating a Klansman for the court. Karl Rove went on Fox News and said that the Princeton and Yale-educated Justice Sotomayor just isn't very smart.
I'm not really certain how intellectually strong she will be. She has not been very strong on the Second Circuit.
Republicans and conservatives must now realize that the way they treated the nomination of Sonia Sotomayor probably did not help their image among Latinos. They know this kind of thing is a problem for them. They know they need to stop alienating and insulting everybody who might otherwise be persuaded to join them. They now know that they need to convince Latinos to vote for them, or they will never be a national party ever again. So you can kind of see this right now as a test. I mean, on the very same morning that the Republican Party unveiled its 100-page document substantially focused on repairing their image with Latinos in America, on that same morning, President Obama announces the first Hispanic nominee for his second-term cabinet. This is a test. Can the Republican Party revamp itself so as not to appall Latinos at high-profile moments of national attention to prominent Latino American political figures? Can they do it?
Obama has just nominated a replacement for Hilda Solis at the, Department of Labor Department? Is it the NLRB or is it the Labor Department? Okay, I'll tell you who this guy is. This guy's name is Tom Perez, and he may as well be Hugo Chavez.
No! Hugo Chavez, really? Pick any other tyrannical dictator or megalomaniac, right? There's so many to choose from. Why did you specifically go to Hugo Chavez? Yeah. Look at the headline on the same nominee from conservative columnist Michelle Malkin last week. Ms. Malkin says he is not actually the nominee for Secretary of Labor. He is the nominee for the Secretary of Illegal Alien Labor. Okay, so the Republican Party's big reboot at respecting Latinos is not off to a great start. Day one. To be fair, though, Mr. Limbaugh and Ms. Malkin are conservative commentators. They're not elected officials. They're not seen as rising stars in their party, that's for sure. Then there's Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky. Today he spoke to the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce in Washington, D.C. And on his way there, he apparently stopped off at the Hispanic voter stereotype shop.
Republicans have been losing both the respect and votes of a group of people who already identify with many of our beliefs in family and faith and conservative values. Hispanics should be a natural and sizable part of the Republican base. Defense of the unborn, defense of traditional marriage are Republican issues that should resonate with Latinos.
Should they know, Senator? Why do you think that? You know, if you actually look at the data, more than half of all Hispanics think that gay people should be allowed to marry. On abortion, about 2/3 of Latinos think abortion should be legal. So your stereotypes about what Latino voters think, hey, it turns out they're wrong. Also, they're stereotypes. Also, there was this.
There's a hilarious episode on Seinfeld. Any Seinfeld fans? Where Jerry admits that he loves Asian women, but he frets and he worries. He says, is it racist to like a certain race?
Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't, just don't.
So it is with trepidation that I'd like to express my admiration today for the romance of the Latin culture.
Back to the drawing board, writes Priebus. No. Steve Kornacki, the brand new host of Up, joins us next.